Good day to the publishers and authors alike. I am Jeffrey Manthaka, the facilitator of today's session, where we are talking about ISBN. This is African Voice Indigenous Book Festival, hosted by Lesedi Publishers and funded by the National Arts Council. With me today, I've got Kholofelo Mojela from National Library of South Africa, and we are going to talk about ISBN. Good morning, Kholofelo. How are you?
Good morning, Jeffrey. Fine, thanks, and yourself?
I'm very much good, and welcome to African Voice Indigenous Book Festival.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, today we like to know more about ISBN. When we look into most of the printed books, you just find on the back cover of the book that there is ISBN. Maybe to the authors who are new to the industry of the publishers also, who are in this industry of publishing, they would like to know like, what is ISBN? Is it an abbreviation? Is it a word? What does it mean?
All right. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number.
Okay.
It is a unique 13-digit numeric book identifier, okay? It's much like an ID, but for books.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, while you might find books with the same title name, but no two books will have the same ISBN.
All right.
Yes.
So is ISBN for every publication, every journal, or only books that writers and publishers published, or as long as it's a book, that it will require the ISBN?
All right. ISBN numbers are mainly for books.
Okay.
And for your magazines, your newspapers, your journals, we have what we call the ISSN, the International Standard Serial Number.
Which is also provided by the library or by other.
Previously, it used to be provided by the National Library, but now you will have to request it directly from the international agency. They're based in Paris, the ISN office.
Okay.
So people will have to make their applications directly from the agency, not with the National Library of South Africa.
Okay, so, but for books that we are talking about, will that be a fiction book or non-fiction book or any printed book?
Any published book will require an ISBN.
Okay. Then we are living in the digital world where everything's now these days they are being digitized and so on. We've got the likes of ebook. So what about ebooks? Do they also require an ISBN or only printed books?
All right. If you're gonna have your book in print as an ebook, as an audio, as an EPUB, you will have to have an ISBN number for each and every format of the book. So meaning that your ebooks will also need to have their own identifiers in terms of ISBN.
All right. Okay. Why is it important to get an ISBN?
You will need an ISBN, Jeffrey, for you to be able to sell and publish your book.
Okay.
Unless you just want to print the book for family, friends, you don't want to sell, you don't want to publish, then yes, you might not need an ISBN. But if you're planning to have your books in your libraries, your bookstores, then you will need to get an ISBN.
Okay. So in terms of law, is it illegal to publish a book and sell it without an ISBN, or is just a personal preference?
Well, I can't say it's legal or not legal, but I think like you're saying that it will have to be a personal preference. If you decide that you don't want to have an ISBN on your book, then it's fine, you can still do that. But how far will that book get, you know, meaning that you won't have your books in the libraries, you won't have your books in the bookstores. How will people know about the book if it doesn't have that identifier?
Okay, maybe to be more specific about fiction and non-fiction books, or like there are books which are for religious topics, books which are for marriage topics, then there are books like your drama, your novel, and your short stories. So is ISBN specific for books of certain topics, or any printed book regardless of topics which is addressing, then it can apply for ISBN?
It applies to any published book.
Okay.
If you're going to publish your book, then you will need an ISBN. It doesn't matter the genre of the book.
Okay.
Yes.
So can I get ISBN at any other institution, or it's only provided by the National Library of South Africa?
The National Library of South Africa. Okay, let me give you the structure of the ISBN. We've got three. The structure is into three. We've got the International ISBN Agency based in London.
Okay.
Then we have the National Library of South Africa here at the National Library. Then we've got the authors and publishers, being you guys, who come to us to request the ISBN numbers.
Okay.
We provide the ISBN numbers to the authors and publishers.
Okay.
So if an author goes to a publisher, they will be able to assign an ISBN number given by the National Library of South Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
How much does it cost to get ISBN if I want to publish my book?
The ISBN, Jeff, is free of charge. We don't charge for the services of ISBN.
Okay.
Yet you do get people out there who are being charged for ISBNs, but the National Library, we do not charge. It's
So
free of charge.
Oh, so it's issued free of charge.
Yes, yes.
So it might be maybe a form of ignorance or being lazy on the part of the author or the publisher to do the research, where probably scammers or some greedy corporates or companies trying to take advantage of.
Yeah, I think so, because we are out there, we are telling people now and again that you do not have to pay for the services of ISBN. We are here and it's free.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
then if there are writers who are not attached to a publishing house, so who can apply for ISBN? Can I apply as an individual before I go to the publisher, or the publishers themselves, they have to apply on my behalf?
If you want to do self-publishing, that will mean that you want to do everything yourself. You can approach the National Library and obtain an ISBN yourself without going through a publisher.
Okay. So then, if I go to the publishers, then the publishers can apply on behalf of the writer in the book?
Yes,
okay.
That is correct.
So in a situation where an author applies for an ISBN and it's granted, can it be granted before I complete my manuscript? And if so, what will happen if, let's just say, I decide to say today I'm going to write a book, I'm in the middle of writing my book, say it's a 14-chapter book, then chapters book, then the books, then I'm at chapter 7 and I apply for ISBN. Will you grant me an ISBN, or you will wait for me to finish my manuscript?
You know, Jeffrey, we always advise that our authors request an ISBN number once they're in the publishing, the manuscript is in the publishing stages.
Okay.
Because we have experienced previously whereby somebody will request an ISBN number whilst they're still writing the manuscript and decide at a later stage that I no longer want to continue with the project.
Okay.
So meaning that we have lost the ISBN and they're no longer going to publish. So it's advisable that once the manuscript is in the publishing stages, then you can request an ISBN.
So how do we rectify if there's a situation that has occurred where an author thought that he will able to achieve, he or she will able to publish a book, then she does the cover page and so on and get the ISBN? I've seen this as a publisher myself, that authors before they complete their manuscript, they will approach a publisher, or they will design even a cover page for themselves, but still went to the publisher. So what will happen if the ISBN has been granted and the author has failed to complete the manuscript or to see the publishing go through? What happens to that ISBN? Can it be resigned or how?
It means that as the National Library, we have lost on that ISBN because we cannot take the ISBN number back and reassign it to someone else.
Okay.
Unless then at a later stage, they decide to publish a different book, write another book, then we are able to reassign that same ISBN to the new book.
Or to the new book.
Yeah, but of the same author. We cannot give it to someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So does one get paid when they publish a book and submit it to the library?
No.
Like I hear about legal deposits and so on. But if you we allocate you an ISBN, then bring at least 2, 5 copies, 10 copies, and so on to the National Library.
Okay. In terms of legal deposit, remember we are a legal deposit library, which means that we collect and we preserve all the work that is published in the country. So for each and every author that approaches us for the services of ISBN, once they've published their material, they will have to submit a copy free of charge to the National Library.
Okay.
Yes, so it's free of charge. We're not going to pay for that copy.
Okay. Or maybe most of the materials or the books that are published are of English and Afrikaans, in English or Afrikaans languages. So, but we do have authors who write in mother tongues like your Chivenda, Sesotho, and so on, but who are not writing fiction books, who are still writing books about any topics like marriages and so on. But traditionally, the books that are written in mother tongues were used to be fiction and so on. But these days, I can see even books that are written in mother tongues, like that talks about any topics, adventurous books and so on, political and so on. Do they also need to apply for ISBN?
Yes, they will need to acquire an ISBN for those books as well.
Okay. So what can writers do in order to place their books in the National Library shelves?
It will have to be in terms of legal deposit. Remember, by supplying us with a copy of your book, you are certain that the National Library has your book in our shelves, on our shelves.
Okay.
Yes.
And so how do authors and emerging publishers or self-publishing writers go about the process in order to get one? In order to get an ISBN, what do they present? What information you require from them?
All right. They will only need to send an email, their request via email. Okay. On the email, they will have to indicate the title of the book, the name and address of the author, the contact details, and we also need to know the date of publication. When is the book being published?
Okay.
So that is all the information that we require in order for you to obtain an ISBN. You don't need to send us the manuscript.
Okay.
You will only send us the copy of the book once it's been published with the ISBN, not before.
All right. Okay, so is there any fee that I pay probably to library just to say because I've published and sell my books, then the library will require a certain percentage to be paid at the National Library, or
no, there's
no payment at all?
There's no money paid to us.
Okay. So in case where an author is told that for ISBN or for the books that you have sold and we have applied for your ISBN on your behalf, so the library requires a certain amount, it's not true? No,
that is not correct.
Okay. So any other message that you have lastly to the authors regarding ISBN or something that they must take into consideration, which is very important?
Okay. All right. I would just like to say that they need to request, their ISBN numbers while they're at the final stages of publishing the book, not, whilst you're still there by the second page and already you request an ISBN.
Okay.
And you do not need to go through a publishing house in order for you to obtain an ISBN. You can come directly to us to obtain an ISBN as a self-author publisher. And just make sure that you send your request through to the correct address, the email address. I'll give you my email address. And also do follow-ups, after a couple of days, because we have instances where people said, I've sent an email about 3 months ago, and I still haven't, received a response. And our turnaround time is mainly 3 to 5 working days.
Okay.
So it doesn't take more than that. So if you see that, I've sent an email it's been months now and no response, please do make follow-ups so that we can see how best we can assist.
Okay. And also, if I'm putting an ISBN number, I see some publications, they will have a barcode, some will not have a barcode. So Is it important, is it necessary and obligatory to put a barcode, or it depends on the designer, or you also provide a barcode?
As the National Library, we don't provide barcodes. We only assist with ISBN numbers.
Okay.
But you can either get a graphic designer or a printer to generate the barcode for you using the same ISBN number.
Okay.
Remember, the barcode, it's used for scanning.
Okay.
Either in your libraries, in your bookstores, and all these other places. So other people will prefer not to get the barcode, I think mainly because they're looking at how they will be marketing their book.
Mm.
So depending on how you're going to be marketing the book, can then you obtain also a barcode.
So if I submit my material without a barcode, but with ISBN, if the library is placing their books on my books on their shelves, do they make a barcode themselves, or they will only take?
No, it will scan. On our side, it will scan because we've got the ISBN.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that is very informative, and it's very short, straightforward, to the point, and thanks for your time. What are the contact details that people must get in order to apply for ISBN?
I didn't get that, Jeffrey, sorry. I think you froze there for a minute.
Sorry. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, no, I was asking like the contact details for people in order to get an ISBN, to get one. Which contacts and email should they use?
Okay, the email address, it's Kholofelo, it's KHOLOFELO.Mojela @nlsa.ac.za. And my telephone line is 012-401-9776. And the other hello?
Hello. And the other number?
Okay, it's 064-649-5210.
Can you repeat that?
064-649-5210.
Can we also WhatsApp you on this number?
Yes, you can also send me WhatsApps on that number.
And video call. Okay, Kholofelo, thanks very much for this informative information, and we will get back to you with the WhatsApp video link once we edited it, so that you can also promote it on your social media, because it's very important for others to know this information, because some people, before I knew this information, I was told that I have to pay 650 Rand for ISBN alone. So thank you very much for your time, and we appreciate it.
No, thank you so much, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Kholofelo.
All right then.
Bye.
Bye.